Buying meat can be a gamble. Some stores have top-notch cuts while others don't, so it's important to know where to shop for the best meat. In this video, we'll break down the top 5 grocery stores offering the best meat deals and the bottom 5 that just don't get it right. Kicking off with the bottom 5, Aldi is sitting pretty at the very bottom. Aldi may be the usual spot for saving money, but when it comes to buying meat, it's definitely not the best option. Sure, their prices are tempting, but when it comes to freshness, they're not the best. Aldi doesn't have an in-house butcher, so you're stuck with pre-packaged cuts that might have been shipped around a lot before they've even hit the shelf. If there's a problem in the supply chain like improper refrigeration during transit, well, it can be a problem. But wait, it gets worse. Once their meat's on the shelf, Aldi doesn't always rotate stock properly, which means you could end up with packages sitting around longer than they should. For meal preppers, this is a nightmare, buying a bunch of meat you think is fresh, only to find it spoils too quickly. The variety isn't any better. If you're looking for specialty cuts or bulk options, you're out of luck. Plus, even their organic or grass-fed choices can be hit or miss. In short, while Aldi's great for chips and cereal, when it comes to meat, it's better to look elsewhere. And it's pretty much the same with ShopRite. While ShopRite definitely has multiple options, when it comes to pre-packaged meat, you might find yourself questioning your choices. They offer a pretty broad selection of meats, but there's a catch. Freshness can be really risky. You'll often find that some packages look a little too aged, and let's be honest, no one wants to take that risk. Another thing to keep in mind is the lack of transparency in sourcing. While ShopRite might have a great selection of meats, you're not always sure where that chicken or beef is coming from. Without clear labels or info on the source, you're basically buying blind. Let's not forget about the inconsistencies. This week you might get perfectly fresh cuts, and the next week you're faced with a package that's a little too close to its expiration date for comfort. For the best experience, it's hit or miss, and honestly, you deserve better when you're buying something as important as meat. Moving on to another grocery store that's basically a no when it comes to buying meat, we've got Walmart. Walmart's convenience is hard to beat, but when it comes to meat, it's not always the most reliable choice. While the store is everywhere and easy to pop into, their large-scale operation can sometimes compromise the quality of the meat. With such high turnover and a massive supply chain, freshness is never really guaranteed. And then there's the handling. In a store that big, meats often don't get the careful attention they need, leading to potential inconsistencies in storage and care. Let's talk about the lack of information about their sourcing. Walmart doesn't always make it clear where its meat is coming from, so you're left in the dark when it comes to ethical sourcing or food safety. If you're planning on storing meat for the long haul, Walmart isn't the most reliable or transparent option. Next up, we've got King Soopers. This store may be a go-to for many locals, but when it comes to meat, they're not really the best option. While the store is beloved for its overall selection, the quality of the meat can differ quite a bit from location to location. Some cuts may come out perfectly fine, while others might be watered down or lacking in flavor. Inconsistent meat quality is really a major issue here, which means if you're planning to grab your steaks or ground beef from King Soopers, you could end up with a batch that's not up to par. This can be especially frustrating for those who want reliability every time they shop. For long-term storage or cuts that will last, King Soopers might not always be your best bet. And it's pretty much the same story with Save-A-Lot. Save-A-Lot has long been a go-to for budget shoppers, but when it comes to their meat department, it leaves a lot to be desired. One of the biggest issues is the lack of quality control, which can lead to spoiled meat even when the packaging looks perfectly fine. You may find yourself questioning whether it's safe to eat, especially if you're not checking expiration dates or storing it properly right away. Another downside is the limited selection. While the store excels in offering affordable prices, they don't exactly have a wide variety of meat cuts, making it hard for anyone who's picky about what they cook or needs something specific. Plus, when it comes to where their meat actually comes from, there's not much information, and the meat you do find often has a weird taste and questionable texture. So while Save-A-Lot might be the top spot for budget shoppers looking to save a few bucks on groceries, it's definitely not the place to rely on for fresh, top-notch meat. But now let's flip the page and take a look at the top grocery stores to buy meat in 2025, starting with Sprouts Farmers Market. If you're all about high-quality grass-fed and organic meat, Sprouts is just for you. They carry USDA choice beef that's free from artificial hormones, often locally sourced and always ethically raised. But what makes Sprouts one of the best is their in-house butcher experience at many locations. You can get custom cuts and expert advice on preserving your meat, whether it's canning, freezing, or dehydrating. Customers always talk about the well-versed staff who go the extra mile to guide you toward the best cuts for whatever method you're using. Plus, with their transparent supply chain, you can rest assured that your meat is fresh, responsibly sourced, and handled with care. So if you're serious about stocking up on top-notch protein, Sprouts Farmers Market is a must-visit for 2025. Winco Foods is another good option to add to your grocery list, and the best part, you don't need a membership to shop here, so it's a total perk for budget-conscious folks who still want that juicy steak or perfectly cut chicken. They're known for offering trustworthy cuts of beef, pork, and poultry, all at reasonable prices. Winco keeps it simple and transparent with their packaging. Clear labels and discounted USDA choice cuts are a perk. Who doesn't love getting a great deal on high-quality meat? Plus, if you want special cuts or specific portion sizes, you can usually ask them at many locations. This is a game changer for people who love to stock up for freezing or canning. The real kicker, though, is their rapid product turnover. With fresh stock constantly moving, you don't have to worry about outdated or relabeled meat making its way onto your plate. Whether you're preparing for a big family cookout or just need some good old reliable meat, Winco Foods delivers both quality and value, making it a top choice for savvy shoppers. And just like Winco Foods, Stater Brothers Markets is another awesome stop for meat lovers, especially if you're in Southern California. With certified meat cutters at nearly every location, you're in for a treat. Whether you need a custom roast, canning portions, or perfectly sliced dehydrating cuts, they've got you covered. They don't mess around when it comes to meat quality either. Stater Brothers invested in USDA choice cuts and occasionally throws in some USDA prime for that top-notch, well-aged, flavorful beef, so you know you're getting the good stuff. To add to that, the swift turnover of stock means you're always grabbing the freshest meat on the shelf. Plus, they often offer bundle deals so you can stock up on proteins without breaking the bank. Even their customer service is top tier, so whether you need cooking advice or tips on preserving your meats for later, they're always ready to help. If you're in the SoCal area, Stater Brothers is a go-to for fresh, high-quality meat at a great value, backed by friendly service and some great deals. It's definitely one of the best spots to grab your next meat haul. And number 2 on the list of top grocery stores for meat in 2025, we have Safeway. Recently, some improvements in Safeway's meat department have been a hit with customers, and it's easy to see why. They offer USDA choice beef and locally or regionally sourced meats, including some great grass-fed and pasture-raised options. And if you're looking for custom cuts, their in-store butcher counters have you covered, offering personalized advice on everything from cooking tips to preservation methods. Safeway is all about making sure you get your money's worth, with frequent sales and discounts on high-quality proteins. What's also cool, their transparent labeling helps you trust the meat you're buying, guaranteeing freshness and ethical sourcing. You can feel good about what you purchase knowing exactly where your meat comes from and how it was raised. So if you're looking for top-notch meats at great value, Safeway is definitely a contender for your next grocery run. Last but definitely not least, we have Sam's Club. If you're all about bulk shopping, Sam's Club is your go-to for stocking up on generous packages of meat at prices that won't break the bank. It's perfect for preppers or large families who need variety and quantity. They offer grass-fed and organic ground beef at great prices, and their prime brisket is highly praised by meat lovers. What makes Sam's Club so good is its vacuum-sealed packages, which do a fantastic job of ensuring freshness, especially for those who like to freeze their meat for later. And with fast product turnover, you can count on fresher stock, and their rotisserie chicken is an affordable, ready-to-eat option for busy nights. While some Sam's Club locations don't have full-service butchers, the quality-to-price ratio still makes it a great choice for most shoppers looking for bulk savings without sacrificing quality. Whether you're preparing for a big family feast or stocking up for future meals, Sam's Club definitely checks all the boxes for a top-tier meat destination. That's all for this video on the top 5 and bottom 5 grocery stores to buy meat at in 2025. Which of these grocery stores would you trust to buy meat at? Let us know in the comments section and enjoy our other videos.